Thank you. Would you please take me to my embassy? Please, take me to my embassy. Take me to my embassy now! I titled this story, Sick and Tired on the Other Side of the World. Those desperate cries to be taken to my embassy came on the 9th day of a 10-day visit to an ex-Soviet country, which shall remain nameless because the people in the country did a really good job trying to help me to be comfortable and have a good time. But alas, there's no place like my bathroom. My discomforts during this trip came down to two basic functions: sleeping and, to put it gently, relieving myself. Let's start with the sleeping. Part of the visit was in the capital city, the other part was in a resort town. While we were in the capital city, I was staying in the host's nice apartment. Unfortunately, at night, NASCAR for this country was going on outside of the window. I got no sleep for 5 days. Now, does anybody here suffer from insomnia or has had insomnia? Okay. You don't get sick from insomnia, you get psychotic from insomnia. From not sleeping, I got closer and closer to, dare I say, the ugly American. My temperament went downhill. When we went to the resort town, I was thinking, oh good, no NASCAR. And it was quiet, and it was lovely. Oh, except for the sound of my hand slapping the mosquitoes that had decided that my body was their resort buffet. So, I had a decision to make. It was hot and humid. I could either wear long sleeves and jeans and sweat to death and not sleep, or I could sleep in a t-shirt and shorts and get eaten to death and not sleep. So I tried both options. It wasn't really smart being eaten by the mosquitoes, because now I was in a town that had no drugstores. When I did find a store that sold any kind of sundries, nobody understood what calamine lotion was. And there was no amount of my explaining it, even to the people that spoke English in this country. So, I didn't sleep for those days. Relieving myself. This was the biggest challenge in this entire trip, no matter where I was. Except for the apartment, that did have a toilet, that was good. We decided to drive to the mountains. On the drive to the mountains, it was a stop at a gas station. I needed to relieve myself. So when we stopped, I started to get out of the car, and they said, where are you going? I said, I'm going to go to the restroom. No, you can't go. And I was like, why can't you go? No, you just can't. You can't go. It's horrible. And I thought, well, how bad can a bath? You hold your breath, you go in, you do your business, you come out. No, you can't. We got a better place for you to go. We have a better place for you to go. I said, okay, fine. So we got in a car. I'm holding it. I'm trying to be a trooper, trying not to be the ugly American. We go down the road about 10 minutes, and they pull off to the side of the road, and they point to a field. There you go. That's a better place. Standing in that field, squatting in that field, relieving myself, I had an idea of how awful it must have been back at that bathroom if this was a viable alternative. Leaves, no toilet paper, okay? I'm still being a trooper. We go to the resort town. I get past the point where when we stop at the checkpoint, the man with the machine gun comes in and wants my passport. Okay, that would have been okay except for the fact that even though the food was delicious, it sometimes didn't sit well with me, and I really wasn't feeling well at all. So all I wanted to do was get to the wonderful restaurant that I had been promised we were going to. And we did go to a beautiful restaurant. And all I could think about was getting into the bathroom. So they put the menus down and I ran to the bathroom. Not feeling well, I opened the door. It was a beautiful room. It was like marble tile walls and a beautiful marble tiled sink and floor. And there, in the middle of the floor, was a hole. I'm going to be honest, I never saw this before, and there's nothing prepared me for this. Ladies, We don't have to aim on a general basis, okay? And consider yourself lucky, because you could be the William Tell of aiming and not be able to direct and aim a spray of diarrhea. My mother always told me to clean up after myself. I looked around that room. I looked at the floor. I looked at the ceiling. I looked everywhere. I thought, I got this covered. I went over to the sink. I said, I can clean this up. There was no running water. The only water were 6 little water bottles sitting on the counter that I suppose you're supposed to use to cleanse yourself once you've gone. Needless to say, I left my mark on this country. I cleaned up as best as I could with the bottles of water. I didn't know what to do. I went to the door. I cracked it open. I looked to the one left. I looked to the right. Nobody. Nobody was looking. Shamelessly, I came out, I shut the door, and I went back and I sat. I could not enjoy that meal. I was totally convinced that at any point, somebody was going to come, grab me by the collar, pull me back to that bathroom, and make me accountable for what I had done. Nobody did. Nobody did. And I'm going to tell you this. This is the first time I have told this story, ever. The people in that country have no idea what I did, and please don't tell them. The second to the last day when I was screaming to go to the embassy, my friend's final words as she dropped me off at the airport, because she wouldn't take me to the embassy, were, you know, you should take a month or 2 and think about how you acted on this trip. Then write me a letter, and maybe we'll communicate again. Well, I don't know how much I thought about how I acted on that trip, but I will tell you that during that month, I built a small shrine to John Harrington, who invented the flushable toilet. Thank you.